Hi, my name is Dr. Luke Rennick with Living with Motion Chiropractic. Today we have Chris, and he's going to tell us a story about the HGC Diet, a few tips and challenges that he had with it. So we're going to introduce you to Chris here. Alright, this is Chris. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you wanted to do the HGC Diet?
Okay. Well, I'm Chris Allen. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do the diet, a couple things. It sounded interesting to me because at least the maintenance portion of the diet was very similar to how I'd been eating for a number of years. And so it didn't seem like it would be that hard once I got past the low-calorie diet piece. The other thing is, like a lot of people, I had put on about 10 or 12 extra pounds, and even though I was working out and eating reasonably well, it just wasn't going away. I'd build some muscle, but I wouldn't ever get rid of the fat. And so the combination of, hey, you're going to be able to focus on eliminating the fat, and it's a short-term program, a one-time intervention that I'd have to do was really appealing.
Okay. And what was your goals for the weight?
Well, I started off, I really thought my goal weight should be about 170, and I was starting off about 182, so I thought 12 pounds or so. And some of that is because I've been working out and doing lifting and that kind of stuff for a few years, and so I thought my original goal weight was in the 165-ish range, 163, maybe even a little lower than that, if you would have asked me 10 years ago. And I assumed that muscle being heavier than fat, that I need to up that a bit. So I was thinking 170. When I got into it, though, actually, from a result standpoint, I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to get down below 165 even, and no real effects as far as loss of strength or anything. So it was very successful.
Okay, so from a health perspective, you lost the fat, you didn't lose any strength or muscle in the process? Right.
And I actually have a trainer I work with, so he was kind of watching me along the way to make sure it wasn't doing some bad things to me. He was very skeptical at first, and as we went through the weeks and he saw the weight coming off and my performance in the workout sessions were as good or better than they were throughout, he became a bit of a believer out of it.
Great. Now, were there any challenges that you ran across through going to the HGC Diet?
Yeah, for the most part, it was as advertised. The drops that you take really do help curb the appetite. You drink a lot of water. The amount of food I was eating surprised me. I really thought I wouldn't be able to do that going into it, but it was really okay. Didn't have any issues there. More from a timing standpoint, the actual diet length of 23 days was a bit of an issue because I had a conference or a workshop that I was going to out of town. It's always hard to manage the food you eat when you're away from home and you can't control the portions and somebody else is delivering the meal to you at an event for 200 people. So I actually met my goal weight and then some prior to going to the workshop. So I was able to really switch over into the maintenance mode earlier as a result.
So I know some of my patients, when they first hear about it, the 500-calorie diet scares them, but from your perspective, it wasn't too bad.
No, actually, I used a lot of spices on my food. I love a lot of flavor. So the fish, we got good quality fish when I was eating it. The chicken, I really didn't get tired of eating chicken and fish as the meats. I didn't like everything on the menu that was allowed, so I had it even more restricted than probably a lot of people would, from vegetables, fruits, and even the meats that were offered. But I didn't find any problems with it because I would just kind of alternate different spices with it. And so the food was very tasty and very healthy. It wasn't that hard to cook the fish or the chicken without oil or butter. And so the food was tasty and the quantity didn't bother me either. I felt full enough with the drops.
Great. So it's safe to say that you would recommend this diet to others?
Highly recommend the diet, especially for those people that really don't like a lot of pastas and potatoes and breads. If you don't like that anyway, the maintenance part of the diet is very similar to how your diet will be ongoing. And so I think it's very positive.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for your testimonial. We appreciate it. And thanks again.
Thank you.